Well, hello there, everyone, and this is Slim from the Slim Nation, the Slim Nation 101 podcast, and the Slim Nation in general, which is a place in our minds, in our soul, and in our bodies. Slim Nation is probably anywhere you want it to be. So we're just talking to you, and hopefully you can hear, and I hope you can. But anyway, just wanted to come on here and show you, and the title of my video on this evening is the Slim's Pocket Studio. And I call it Pocket Studio because it's a little section in my den where I set up this studio, and a small studio, a little pocket thing, a little area in the den that doesn't interfere with anything else going on in the den. See myself over there on the big screen. You can see I have other screens here, so when I'm doing a show and I'm streaming on StreamYard, which is the platform I use to do the shows, I stream live to other different platforms like Facebook, different pages on Facebook, and YouTube, of course, like what I'm doing now. So I have these little screens that I watch from time to time to make sure the connections are okay and doing okay. And and sometimes I use screens like the screen here. I'll use that to, if I have a guest and have information, especially if they have a long resume and they have a lot of information, because I usually like to write down every show and put the date on it, so for reference. So when I go back, I can go back and look at it. And I'll use that screen as a reference when I'm talking to the guests, to keep up. And sometimes I might put notes on that on the screen to keep up. And this is my soundboard, and I hope the sounds come through. And hopefully you are hearing that. A little short laughter there. It cuts off real quick, but that's probably all we needed. And some other little things on here. If something's crazy happens. And of course, W, however you want to call it. Anyway, that's my little sound up there. Something I got on Amazon. Being an amateur like I am, didn't spend a lot of money for it, but right now it's working for me. And as I continue and move on, I guess we'll upgrade all this equipment, the mic, the headphones, and everything else, so we can bring you the best quality in sound, vision, and all that good stuff. In a way, Slim Nation, we're trying to grow. Lately, I've been doing quite a few interviews, and I hope you've been watching, and I hope Facebook shares those interviews. And I'm constantly studying, watching the tutorial videos, trying to figure out the best way to grow the channel, the best way to maximize the audience that might watch the videos, and just learning as I go along. There's still a lot of things I have to learn, and so we're gonna keep on trucking, like Eddie Kendrick said in the '70s with his song after he split from the Temptations. And we're gonna try a few other things. We're gonna have some shows under the Slim Nation 101's podcast umbrella. And we're going to do it like that at first. It might be advantageous to have channels for those shows, but that's a lot of work for one person. Even though I have host producer up there, I call myself a producer, but it gives me the chance to work when I'm having guests to maybe share information while they're on, or to focus on them, or change settings. A lot of things I can do while I'm sitting back here. So uh, I have the host first because a lot of times, if I have, of course, on my show, the Slim Nation 101 podcast, I'm going to participate. But if I bring people on there to showcase what they do, if they want to come on, I probably will be there, but kind of in the background, uh, showing fewer comments or something like that, or whatever they need me to do in the background, and occasionally come up there and they need me to help them with the conversation, we'll do that. So we're going to try that. I have one already that we're working on. We did one video, and that's with Slim and Shona. And we're going to try that. It's talking. She lives in Georgia. I live in Virginia. So it's from B-Town, which is Portsmouth, B-Town to ATL. Sorry about that. So, and it's called Our Take on It. So we get up there, just talk about different things, the issues of today, not getting too heavy with it, but having some fun with it, and comparing the two states and then other states throughout, or just talking about things that we experienced as we were growing up. We graduated same high school together, so we've been knowing each other for a long time. So we brought up some of the things that we go through every day, things that we went through growing up in our household, with the discipline, and which is a little different these days. So stay tuned for that show. It's called Our Take on It, and Shona from B-Town to ATL. So stay tuned for that, and have some other possibilities in there. So we're gonna be kind of busy with this thing, and I just have to convince my wife that it's worth doing this. He's on board, kind of, but she's into other things. He has a part-time job. She's satisfied with that. It gives her something to do. And I'll tell you this. I'm 70 years old, and it's kind of hard to think about someone 70 thinking about new beginnings, but you can have new beginnings at the age of 70. And of course, I started this way before I was 70, maybe about 5 years ago, but not the Slim Nation podcast, but Portsmouth Coffee Talk, which we do every Monday morning at 7 with two other co-hosts, Leah Drake and Thomas the Colonel Chapman, where we mostly we talk a lot of politics, and we have hot topics every month where we just bring up hot topics. And boy, they've been giving us plenty of hot topics to talk about the first Monday in each month. And then we bring on guests. We've had school board members, city councilmen, we had the mayor from different cities. So we bring on people and have conversations with them, and talk about what's going on with them in their professional lives. Slim Nation 101's podcast is more like a one-on-one, like the title says, one-on-one with people that come on and talk about their personal experiences in most cases, and what they're doing now. But we kind of take it back a little bit. We play it back. What was that movie? Back to the Future. Kind of go back to their future and talk about what makes them tick. So stay tuned for that. And I know I've done a lot of videos like this lately, just trying to promote what we're doing. I wanted to come up here on my channel on YouTube and talk about that as well. And hope that we get some traction from you YouTube people out there in the world. We're going to try to bring you great content, and as we grow and learn and just be a part of this YouTube family and in my little pocket studio in my home. And I probably, if I probably grow to another room in the house and have everything in there. I have a lot of things, but I have quite a few things. I have a lighting here, and I also go out on location and film some events live, tape some. I get a chance to talk to people at different events, and either under Portsmouth Coffee Talk or the Slim Nation, either one, or just me going out there talking to people. Sometime I'll go out in the city and highlight some areas in the city that are building, that are growing, and just focus on that and talk to some people at random. And I plan on expanding that to other cities, just talk about other cities. And I've just been appointed for the city of Portsmouth, Virginia, been appointed to the Museum and Arts Commission. Now, I've served on a lot of commissions over the years, the Planning Commission, not the Housing Authority, but Economic Development Housing Authority, on a lot of commissions over the years. Been serving on commissions and boards, volunteering my time for the city and in the community since the late '89. And, that's been a long time serving, but, it was something my father told me, whatever I do. My father was an attorney, and he ended up being a substitute judge while he was still practicing. And I didn't follow in that profession. And maybe I'll do a whole show about that, talking about what happened there and why, because I know he had hope for me following his footsteps. And he was had his own law practice, and he probably envisioned me coming out of school and then going to law school and coming in and taking over that business, which I think most men in that field would do. And I know I'm going to feature a few people here in our city that have done that, a father and son, where the father was in a certain profession and the son followed in that. But I didn't, for a lot of reasons. Like I said, I'll do a show about that, tell why that. So, but he did tell me, once he realized I wasn't going to go that way, whatever I did, make sure I made time to give back to my community and my city and the people. When I say my community, I mean that in a lot of different ways. My physical community and the people in my community, Black people, when I say community. And what I've done, I've served as civic league president and been on different committees that serve the community and surrounding communities that I live in. So I've kind of followed that, what he told me to do, even though I didn't go in this profession, but, had quite a few different jobs. Was a realtor at one time. Years ago, I worked at the ABC board, which is the package store, the liquor store. And I was just trying to work. I had a young baby, was married, got out of college, income, had a baby, so we went for jobs. But anyway, I'm getting into that, and I want to do a whole video on that, so I won't go any further than that. Anyway, this is where we are. We're doing a lot of people on this platform, on the YouTube platform, have tremendous setups, and I just have my little studio here where I'm doing some, and right now I'm starting with the one-on-one interview. Please, come on and watch them. Come on, subscribe to the Slim Nation One-on-One podcast. We're gonna be following up with quite a few 2 interviews, hopefully trying to do 2 interviews a week, maybe more. My goal is to work my way up to coming on at least coming on to get my thoughts together. At least 4 days a week. Finally got it out. At least 4 days a week with the Slim Nation show, which will be a specific time, and hopefully the guests that come on can come on those times. I like to do the shows live. I've seen some videos, two of your videos that say, it's best to record because you can edit the video before you put it out there. When you do it live, you can go back and edit it later, but it's already out there, and you don't want to. You can go back and add some things for people just watching it later. But I like to do it live because people that might be watching at the time we do it live have an opportunity to comment in real time, ask questions to the guests, or make comments to the guests, or agree with some of the things that we're saying, or add to the conversation by typing in what they feel about whatever we're talking about, the subject. So I just like to do it live. It's just it's more spontaneous that way, and whatever happens. Whatever comes out. And maybe sometimes I'll do. I will record when I think it's necessary to record something, so I can come back to my pocket studio and do the editing, the necessary editing that needs to be done in order to continue. One thing we're trying to use my laptop and see if the connection, the Wi-Fi connection is working better. I did something else that said it's best to come through Chrome, and where the Wi-Fi setup is better, because before the laptop wouldn't hold the StreamYard. It kept, we had connection problems. And we're going to see, since I'm coming through Chrome with the Yard stream, and see if the connection problem on the laptop is better. Because before, if not, I have to go back the way I was doing it before. I had to come through my phone, my personal phone, because the connections are always better through the phone. And that's the way I've been doing it. If I had guests on that were having a problem with their Wi-Fi, I would suggest that they switch to the phone, so we wouldn't go through the whole interview with going in and out. Sometimes the Wi-Fi just goes out completely. But so far, it looks like it's holding up. Those are to my left. I have my screen on the wall where we watch TV here in the den. So I have my stuff up there. So I put it up to all the shows up there so I can really see everything. And so that's one of my screens along with all the other screens. So you see the Slim Nation Hall ones, you see the chicken going by, podcast, my Cash App here, Slim Nation 685. If you ever want to contribute to this podcast, everything goes right back into maybe improving this, upgrading my soundboard here, and one other things. I wanted to try something. They have this where you can change your voice, and to change my voice.
What do you think about this? Do you hear something different? Do you hear a monster's voice? Wow, that's something, isn't it? Kinda scary and spooky. That voice coming out of me. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, forget put it off.
Okay, go back to the original voice. This is going to be funny, but also check.
this out. How do I sound now? Is there something that the second board helps me do? Do I sound like a female? Or I can sound like a different male.
How do I sound? Do I sound like? Do I sound like someone else? Or
Do I sound like a child? Do I sound like my grandson? Good. Wow, not quite. He doesn't sound like
let me go back to the original voice that you used to, and that was kind of funny. That was kind of funny and fun. Wow. Ooh, boy. That first voice was kind of stupid. But anyway, that's some of the things that we can do. You know, if someone says something, you know, just to make sure that it's great. And if someone says something stupid, you just slap them twice. And what else we got here? I don't understand this one. This, well, that's for those comedy people there. But there's something stupid, you can just blow them up. You just get them out of here. But anyway, that's some of the things we do. See on the screen there. I got Mission 101's podcast. Do to streaming or looking for a level up. Check out StreamYard. Okay, well this is just showing just advertising for StreamYard actually. So if you want to use, check out StreamYard. I get a $10. Well, you get a $10 discount, and I get a site off of it too. Let me pick that up. Not up to you to advertise them, even though they've been good to me. So, and yeah, I guess you can hear in the background the music. Go to it and give it some value. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's background music we have there. We also have this is one of my. Well, I'll play that later. You've heard that before. Anyway, you get the chance to see the video. Tell me what you think. If you want to be a part of what we're doing here, what I'm doing here, just let me know. If you want to be a guest, you have something to say, and you have a book, you have written a book, and I had quite a few authors on here. We like to have authors up here and talk about their book. And help them promote it for one thing, and just talk about, you know, what motivated them to write. And a lot of books, even if they're fiction, sometimes it has a little something to do with their personal life and their experience. And sometimes it's just all imagination. But some of the books are inspirational books, telling about experiences they've had that they hope will help someone else. So if you're an author and you want to come on and discuss your book, let me know. Just give me time to get the book, and at least if I don't have a chance to read it completely, to be a little familiar with the premise of the book, and so I can have a discussion with you about your book, even though you will talk more about your book than me and expose what you want to expose, because you want people to tell everything. But anyway, if you're an author, you want to come on and talk about your book, or you like books and you just want to suggest a book to me to read, and then we'll come on here and talk. I already part of a group of men that get together about once a month and pick a book and talk about it. And next month we don't have a book pick, but we're going to sit around. Us men are going to sit around and talk about our fathers, fatherhood. There might be some people in the group that didn't have a father, but had a father figure, or had no one. So this should be a really lively discussion. And I plan on filming that on the YouTube channel, Some Nation. YouTube channel, discussion between men. We did that last month, and I filmed it. And wow, you enjoy that discussion. A group of men sitting around. Talking. Doing just what I thought now is starting to slow down and freeze. So my connection is starting to not be good. So it's letting me know what we have to do. We have to probably go back to the other way we were doing it. But I'll still have a soundboard set up. Soundboard doesn't work that well with the phone, but it works a lot better with as far as the connection is concerned. I don't have to worry about a lagging connection or slowing down of the picture. So we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we come to you the right way, with very good connection and everything. And even if we have to go through anything, anyway, we're still learning, like I said, and I want to thank everybody for coming on. And I'm going to close out now, but I want to close out with my theme song. So I'm going to have to go down here and to the music. As good as it sounds, and I'm going to have to close it out. Oops. There you go. Okay, that's closed out. And we're going to go to
it's time for us to
well,
it's time for us to sit down at the table. turn this chaos. It's time for us to sit down.
Sorry about you.
It's time for us to sit down at the table and turn this chaos into something stable. For love, one on one, we will not accept defeat, not on our land, not in our streets. Getting it done. Reaching out to save the youth, letting them know the truth. Slim Nation is where good conversations dwell.
Okay, thanks everybody. We appreciate you coming on and staying with us this long. And on this, it's kind of a, like I said, it was kind of a test to see how the connection holds up on the computer here. But we'll see. We'll always be prepared. Whenever we have a show, I'll be prepared to switch to the phone if necessary, if we getting a lot of connection problems there. So thanks. Thank you for showing up, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out some of the other videos that are on this channel, on the Slim Nation 101's podcast channel. And let me know what you think about some of the guests we had there and some of the subjects we talked about. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.